Alright, for this tutorial, we're going to create a floating button. So you have an icon floating here, and when we click an icon, another menu will come up, a circle menu, and there will be lots of other icons there. So let's create the icon first and place it on top of page 2 navbar. So basically it's center, so we want the icon to be placed here and center. I'm going to create this is my page 1, so I have a comment there to block out which content belong to what section. So this is page 1 content, so all of this belong to my page 1. And let's do here, see how it goes. I want to create a div, and this div I'll call this, let's give it an ID, main icon. And then inside this icon will be a button, so I'm going to use the widget button. And let's create an icon. Let's do an alert icon. It doesn't matter what icon, you can always change it. And I don't want the text, so I can change the data icon pose to no text. And then see what we have. So the icon is there, and we want to adjust so that it will be center and floating. So it got to do with the position. We want the position to be fixed. So I'm going to create the CSS for main icon in my style sheet. If you don't have that, you can create one. And this is it's an ID, so hash, and then main icon. So what do we want? We want it to be centered. So if the way we do center is that we if we want to be absolute center, it will be 50% from the top, 50% from the left. But we want it to be at the bottom. So the first thing is we want it to be 50% from the left. Semicolon. And then we want the position to be fixed. Semicolon. So immediately we can see that our icon is gone. Never mind. And then we want to do translate. So transform. Translate. Let's do negative 50%, negative 50%. See what do we have. Let's refresh. Alright. Sometimes I have to do this several times in order to get it to really refresh. Now let's check out the browser. So in my browser, so this is it. Let's bring it down. So if I bring it down, it's actually there, hidden. So we need to adjust the position a bit so that it will be placed on top of the menu. So where's my app design? So now we have that. Let's do bottom 0. Can't seem to see it here. Doesn't matter. Let's refresh from the browser. So it's there. How about we'll put 40 pixel. Oops. Now it's refreshing. Okay, now you go. You see that 40 pixel is probably too high. I just want to see if I scroll whether it stays on. Okay, it stays. So I'm going to adjust the pixel so it'll be roughly to the top of the menu or navbar. So now 20%. Sorry, 20 pixel. still doesn't change that much. Oh, let's do 10. Refresh. I think 10 should be okay. Right. So next is we have it placed center ready. We want another div to be at the back of this circle, and when we click, it will spawn. And we're going to do the pop-up for that. Okay, so I already covered pop-up earlier in the previous consultation. So let's do a pop-up now. So we're going to create a pop-up in page 1. It can be anywhere. So let's do, this is end of content. Let's do pop-up here. Right, so the way we do pop-up is we need a div. So I'm going to do a div, and the data role is pop-up, and then the ID, I'm going to call this the circle pop-up. Pop-up. Right, so that's the name. And then inside this is where we're going to have the div to hold our graphics. So I'm going to do a div, and let's do, since it's going to be circle, I'm going to call this circle thingy. All right, I'm going to create a CSS for this so that we can see where the pop-up will be. But before that, let's change this to content so that we can see. Remember, when we change the data role to pop-up, we won't be able to see the content. So I'm going to go to my app design, and then the ID is called, what is it called? Is it ID or CSS class? It's an ID. It's called circle thingy. So let's do circle thingy. So ID circle thingy. Sorry, ID. It's hash circle thingy. And we want to create background and width. So let's do width. Let's do 120 pixel. Height also 120 pixel. And then we're going to give a background color. Background color. Oh, background color. Let's pick a color. Then we should see a box underneath here. There you go. And we want this to be behind the icon. So let's clean up. And center as well. So let's make it center. To make it center, we want the left to be 50%. Position, it has to be absolute. Let's put position on top. No, position fixed, not absolute. Right, there you go. Now it's gone. Left 50%, and then we want to be from the bottom. So bottom, let's put bottom. What do we did for? Let's do the same 10 pixel. See what happened. Let's do transform. Transform. Translate. Negative 50%. Negative 50%. Some color. Alright, so we have that. It's center. Now we just need the bottom to be way at the bottom. But before we do further adjustment, remember this will be a pop-up. When we create a pop-up, it will be it will create a new div for us automatically for jQuery mobile. What if I put 0 here? What happened? Let's refresh. That's 0. Negative 20. We can move it. by offsetting the value. Alright, now let's make this circle. So I'm going to give a radius. No, it's border radius. Oops, border radius 50%. There you go. Now it's circle, and we want it to be behind the icon. Then we need our z index to be what, 0? See? Not sure whether that will work or not. It's either 0 or we're going to give negative value to it. So alright, so that doesn't work. Let's do negative 10. Oh, okay. Now it's way behind. 1, 2. So if we put 0, it goes behind the navigation bar, but it's still. Oh, let's bring up the main icon. So I'm going to put z index for the main icons to maybe 100. There you go. That will be in front. Now I can position the circle even lower. Let's do bottom 100, 50. Too much. 120 there. 100. Oh, 80. Alright, so maybe that will do. So now our objective is to make it click. When we click, then only this thing will show in the form of pop-up. So we probably need to tweak this a little bit more later on, but let's go to our source code. So we want to convert all of this to pop-up.